At the end of the parsha, in the very last Rashi in the parsha, Rashi tells us that the curtains, the urias of the Mishkan and the chutzner of the Mishkan, had copper pegs that held them down so that they wouldn't be lifted in the wind, they wouldn't blow around in the wind. And Rashi says that he does not know whether these pegs held down the curtains by the virtue of their weight or whether they were nailed into the ground. And in the end, Rashi concludes that they were nailed into the ground. Rabbi Moshe Feinstein in Dorish Moshe says, this tells us about a human being. That ultimately the goal is for a human being to be so big, for his knowledge of Hashem and of the truth to be so clear, that he's unmovable by virtue of his own weight. He can't be pushed aside by the winds of time, of society, of peer pressure. He knows the emes. He's big enough to be able to stand firm in his position, in his values, and his beliefs. However, until a person gets to that point, he has to first immerse himself, sink himself in like a peg that's sunk into the ground among his Rebbeim and his Chaverim, good people who will keep him in the right place. And after he does that for long enough, he will grow to a level where even if he's not sunken in, even if he's not connected to anybody else, he will never be budged. And in fact, that's Rashi's conclusion, that the pegs have to be sunken in because that's our first step. Our first step is to put ourselves in a good place so we anchor ourselves to good people and we won't be budged by the wind. And from there we will be elevated to a madrega. We will have such clarity in our values that nothing in the world could budge us. Have a wonderful Hilgi Shabbat Shalom Avarech.